Salut, comment ça va? Welcome back everybody to the CF Montreal Career Mode. It's the second episode where we are taking the French-Canadian side and putting them into the second division of French football. As I said in episode 1, the goal of this career mode is to become the first non-European side to win the Champions League. But of course, that is quite a long way away. And also, just worth reminding that we can only sign players from French-speaking countries in this series. I'm not going to address this at the start of every episode. It will be in the description of every episode, but I just thought it was still worth reminding people here in this series' infancy. Sorry about episode 1 as well, by the way. I'm aware I didn't sound in the best of health, shall we say, at times. Wasn't feeling great at all that day. Was under a bit of pressure to get a recording out, though. My time has just been quite limited recently. Initially, I was supposed to record this episode right after it. It was in everyone's best interest that I didn't do that right after that first episode, but I'm here a few days later, feeling a lot better and ready to get into the action. So, I'm only going to play one full game in this episode. That will be this home game here against Paris FC. They are the team I expect to be head-to-head with us for this Ligue 2 title. But they haven't had the best start to this season. They've actually lost their most recent game, which is quite interesting. But look, I think it's only a little bit of a speed bump for them. I'm expecting them to give us quite a competitive game here on the 25th of October. Now, you might be wondering, bloody hell, the 25th of October, that's quite a jump from the first episode. That's because I'm going to show you the highlights of all these games. I just don't want Season 1 to drag on forever. I do understand that the main interest of this career mode will be when we're in the first division of French football and hopefully eventually playing European football as well. So I'm going to get through the highlights here to speed things up a little bit, but I did want to show you this first full game against Paris. So without further ado, let's get into the first few highlights of this episode. So the first game we had here was away from home against the team from the south of France, Martigues. I am having to learn an awful lot of pronunciations for this career mode, but we did get off to a great start here. Nathan Dylan Saliba missed the first attempt at that strike, but didn't miss the second one, slotted it into the bottom corner to give us a 1-0 lead after 5 minutes. A few minutes later, Sami Zayn showing why he is the main man between the sticks here. He makes a really good save. I was a little bit worried after that first home game in the last episode, thought he looked a little bit shaky at times, but he did actually make quite a good few saves in this game, so good to see him picking up that form. Speaking of people in good form, Esteban Lepal, he continues his great goal scoring start to the season by doubling our lead just a few minutes after Zayn made that save. I feel like this guy is going to be a superstar in this career mode, especially if dynamic player potential can kick in for him. He's gotten off to a great start. Long may that continue. I'm trying to see here if the other save that Zayn made comes up here. Oh no, it doesn't. That's a shame. He made a really good save from an attempted chip shot. Easy for me to say, but unfortunately it hasn't come up here in the highlights. But what has come up is our third goal of the game. Esteban Lepal with his second and our third. 3 goals, 3 points. Great start to the episode. It was Clermont who took the long trip to Montreal for the next game, our first home game of the episode, and Lepal, who else but him, to kick off the goal scoring. Beautiful finish. That's 7 goals in 4 games now for our new talisman. What a start he has had to life in Montreal, and the fans are absolutely loving it. Siddiqui, another one of our new signings, was the one who doubled our advantage here. Really good finish from our new centre midfielder. Some of the goals we've scored have been really aesthetically pleasing, and that one was no exception. Then I tried to recreate the save from Sami Zayn that wasn't picked up in the highlights of the last game, but as you can see here, yeah, he was never getting anywhere near that one. I'm not going to blame Sami Zayn for that. Defensively, we've had a bit of a nightmare. He had to come out, but the striker took advantage of it, and that did half the deficit. But Maurice Richard scored plenty of goals in ice hockey, and now he's doing it here in the beautiful game. That was indeed a rocket to restore our 2-goal advantage right on the stroke of half-time. And then the substitute, Marshall Ruddy, who's a player that I actually do want to start giving a bit more game time to. I was trying to shoot with Antunes there. I was spamming the circle button, and for some reason, he wouldn't shoot. But he ended up laying it off for our backup winger, who did really well when he came on, and that sealed our first home victory of the episode, 4-1 here against Clermont. First time in this series, I used the highlights feature, And that also coincides with the first time we dropped points in this series. Away from home here against Pau, we had the majority of the first few highlights, and then the first major one they get, they put it past Sami Zayn in the Montreal net. Very, very frustrating, but of course it was Esteban Lepal who got the equaliser. His great run still continues on here in our third game of the episode. Beautiful finish to get us back on level terms. And then with 3 minutes to go, we nearly won it. GSP goes on a great run here. But blasts it past the keeper and the post as well. A 1-1 draw. First game that we haven't gotten all 3 points in. Disappointing, but we move. After playing the highlights for the first time in this series, I'm going to quick sim this game just to see how well, or not so well, we may do. It's FC Lorient, they're in 13th place, not having a great season. I've made 1 or 2 changes. Piet, you can see there at centre-back. I have actually officially changed his position from CDM. I think he's better in defence than he is in centre midfield, so I think that makes sense. Marshall Rutty as well is in good form, so we've put him in over summer. So let's quick sim this game. Can we get 3 points here? Oh no, we can't. We face our first defeat of the season. Lepal does keep up his goal scoring record, but Lorient have actually given us our first L of the season. Okay, that's a bit of a reality check, not gonna lie. Bit surprised at that one. Montreal is more of a hockey city, but today we have had our first basketball game away from home against third place Mets. We get off to a great start here, and Tunes with a beautiful finish to open up the scoring. Sami Zayn turned into David De Gea then for the rest of the first half, making a few saves here. This one in particular was quite good. Really good run there from the attacker. He basically ran from the halfway line, past a load of defenders and midfielders as well, but Sami Zayn thankfully was there to stop it from going in. George St. Pierre's shot was not stopped from going in though. He doubled our advantage here, and at this stage I thought, okay, we've been up against the Kosh for a good bit of this game, but we're 2-0 up now. Surely this will be plain sailing. I was wrong. Sami Zayn having to keep quite a few shots out. I've backed in and out of the highlights I don't know how many times. It will not show me the first goal that was scored by Metz. So I do apologise for that. But they did pull one back before Lepal made it 3-1. Yet again, another goal from our talisman. And again, we restored our 2-goal advantage. I was able to relax a bit. But I probably relaxed a little bit too much because for the second time in this episode, this happened. No defender anywhere near the attacker. Sami Zayn tried to come out, but it is a beautiful fish and chip strike there from their number 99. I have to give credit where it's due. That is a hell of a finish. And they weren't finished there, because with 10 minutes to go, Asuro, their number 99, yet again scoring a very good goal. 3-3 with 10 minutes to go. I was really, really disappointed here after a very hard-fought game. I thought we'd done enough to get the 3 points, and it looked like from here that wasn't going to be the case. Until Esteban Lepal popped up again and got another goal, put us 4-3 up, and I was like, surely now, that is that, 4-3, hell of a game, but we can go back to Canada with 3 points and be very, very happy about it, and what a finish that was as well. Oh, but that would be just too easy though, wouldn't it? Because in the 90th minute, Mets go up the other end again, defensively very, very poor, and Sami Zayn couldn't get anywhere near that one. I can't even speak anymore. And it was 4-4. In the first minute of 2 added on, I didn't think we'd have enough time to go up and get a winner. So I was very, very disappointed. Until Maurice Richard, the Rocket Man himself, decided to go, feck that, let's go and get a winner. An absolute rocket there from the winger. Beautiful finish, 5-4, our first basketball game of the series. And for the sake of my mental health and my blood pressure, I really hope there's not many more where this came from. Academy is looking as well at the moment. Quite a few decent players here who look like they have a very, very good upside, converting some positions here as well for some players just to make them fit into the team. But unfortunately at the moment, I'm unable to call up any more players, or actually include any more players I should say, into the youth academy because we don't have the financial means. Is the budget at the moment $116,000. As much as I would love that in my real life bank account, it's not enough to call up any academy players, and I'm going to show you why that's so frustrating. These are some of the players we currently have from France. This Carpentier guy, 2.1 million. He would probably go straight into the team, but we don't have the financial means to pull it off, which is really frustrating. Lecombe looks quite good as well. I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of these names. This guy here, he's quite young, not the best player, but he would have been nice to have as an option eventually. And Chartier, a decent looking winger, 1.6 million, but we cannot actually call him into put him into the youth academy, I should say, at the moment. That is so bloody frustrating. Winning streak continues though here at home against Annecy. What a strike this is from Siddiqui, our Congolese midfielder, with an absolute perler there. He really can hit them. And let's just say our midfielders can both actually hit them really well, both of our centre mids. But Siddiqui was the one who opened up the scoring here with that brilliant strike. We controlled this game really from beginning to end. It was actually quite a straightforward performance. Antunes was the one to get the second goal here. Lepal played it into Siddiqui, who played it into Antunes. Is he going to be the next Zidane? He's wearing the same number, he plays in a similar position, and he's now playing in the country that Zidane is from. So let's hope that he can live up to those heights. But he was the one who doubled our advantage here. Again, it was a very straightforward performance. Wasn't really too much for Sami Zayn to do in the Montreal net. But their keeper had to pick the ball out of the net quite a few times. Look at that for a strike from Nathan Dillon Saliba. The man with two first names scores an absolute perler there. He was slightly off balance as well, so it's quite impressive the power and accuracy he got behind that shot. But that was 3-0, and it was another 3 points in this episode. Was the next opponent here away from home. Not a very exciting game. Lepal did get the only goal of the game, but another clean sheet and another 3 points. A great way to go into this big game against Paris FC, the first full game of the episode. So before we get into this game against Paris, I said we'd have a quick look at the league table. We are currently top of the league by 4 points after 9 games. Paris are down in 4th, not doing as well as I thought they would do at this stage of the season. 4 wins from 9, 3 draws, 2 losses. They've scored 12 and conceded 9, so they actually do have quite a good defence, but they are a little bit lower in the table than I thought. Now, they're still in a playoff place. It's still very early in the season, so I'm not going to take them lightly, and I'm very much looking forward to this first full game of the episode. Bring on Paris. Rainy day in Montreal, but we hope to rain on the parade of Paris FC. The French Canadians taking on the team from the French capital. And let's just say there's another team from the French capital that hopefully will be playing a little bit more than the team we're about to play it right here. But still, this is where we are right now. We're in a very good position. I'm very happy with our start to the season. And I think this game will be a real test as well, that I feel like if we win, will be a huge statement to the rest of the league, as there's some great camera work there from EA, as always. Not like we pay an arm and a leg for this game every year. But anyways, very much looking forward to this one. We are going with our full strength team. As you can see there, Esteban Lepal is the top scorer in the league. 12 goals in 9 games. He has been absolutely fantastic, and hopefully he can keep that form up here in this game. Enough of the pleasantries, let's get into it. Paris get things going, but hopefully Montreal will be the team that will take the 3 points. But here's Dicko, that's a bit of an unfortunate name. He gets off to a lively start here, but it ends up in the palms of Sami Zayn. Lads, in the games I've played that I've showed you the highlights of, Sami Zayn, honestly, he's the Canadian David De Gea. He has been absolutely sensational in this episode so far. But here's George St. Pierre, who I did have to adjust a little bit tactically. Felt like he wasn't getting as involved as I would like him to. And here is Antunes, who's been very much involved. The Belgian Zidane plays in Lepal. Oh, the man who can't stop scoring has his shot blocked. I know they are in 4th, but as I say, I feel like if we win this game, it really is a huge statement, because they're still the team that a lot of people would say would be the top team in the 2nd division of French football. I think Red Bull just invested in them as well recently, Paris. So 2 teams with a lot of financial backing in the French capital. And those are the teams we are looking to overtake in the respective divisions. Paris have been on the ball quite a lot so far in this game. Oh, and they're in our box as well here right now. Are they going to create the first big chance of the game? It deflects off our defender and out for a corner. 15 minutes in here. Paris have probably been the more lively of the two teams. Thank God handballs are turned off, because that definitely would have been a penalty if I had them turned on. I haven't had handballs turned on, I'd say, since probably FIFA 20. And I had to turn them off because every single time I blocked a shot, I felt like a spot kick was given. And speaking of FIFA 20, keep an eye out for some posts over the next few weeks about some new series we have coming up in the next few weeks and months. I'll just leave that hang in the wind there for a little bit. But still 0-0 here after 20 minutes. Good interception by Piet. He's really nailed down that centre-back position. He's done very well since we've converted him. Here's Antunes now. Can he play in Lapaul? Yes, he can. I had to shoot a bit quicker than I would have liked. And the keeper saves it. And he'll pick it up as well. I think the weather is definitely playing a factor in this game. That's not the best clearance. Antunes gets dispossessed. Not really a clear-cut chance yet from either team. Couple of half chances. But Paris go on the attack again. I really don't want to say this guy's name anymore. I kind of feel sorry for him that it has to be his name. Oh, but it's Hamel. Oh, and he puts Paris in front. 1-0 up here after, or 1-0 down I should say, after half an hour. Paris FC are the team who break the deadlock in this game. And you have to say, it really is what they deserve. We have not really been at it so far. That's the only thing I'm finding with this formation. We're leaving a lot of space at the back. Zayn unable to get anywhere near that one. And the team from the capital lead the French Canadians. 1-0 down here inside the opening half an hour. But listen, I'm not going to panic. There's still a lot of football left to be played. And we've got a lot of quality on the pitch to make a difference. Can we respond quickly though? Lapaul over to Siddiqui. Summers. Good ball. Lapaul. Instant response. Oh, very nearly. It's a good save. And he was able to pick it up before we followed it up for a tap in. Is Lopez now into the goal scorer, Hamel. Oh, he's just got a lot more pace on Piet. Brilliant tackle though by the Canadian. We've got an all-Canadian defence. And they're doing a decent job so far this season, but they have conceded pretty disappointing goal in this game. As the Paris defence now pass it around. I'm hoping these adverse weather conditions can interfere at some stage for us. I think I've put weather effects on it low. I didn't turn them off completely. I did that long enough in the United career mode. Good interception. Thankfully we get away with that one. Come on, let's get on one more attack before the halftime break. Try and get this equaliser. Here's Antunes. Summers is going on a run here. Oh, I thought he was going to lose it there for a second. Plays it back to Antunes. Lapaul. GSP. GSP gets the equaliser. The captain strikes. We've changed up the tactics. And it looks like it's working so far. He's getting a lot more involved. His third goal of the season. It's a good finish as well. And we will be going into the halftime break all square. It might be slightly more than what we deserve, but I don't care. We'll gladly take it. GSP on the score sheet. And it's 1-1 going into the halftime break. Things off here in the second half. Lapaul gives the ball over to Maurice Richard. Two of our top goal scorers. Can they get involved more here in this second half? And can we grab what would be a very, very nice 3 points? There's GSP who got that equaliser. Yeah, he's definitely feeling a lot better. I have him as a playmaker. I had him as a half winger because I thought he did quite well out on the right the odd time we put him there. But I felt like he wasn't getting as involved in the attacks as much as I would like. So we changed it up. Here's Antunes. He's done really well. Oh, it's a brilliant ball in. And who else but Esteban Lapaul to put the ball in the back of the net. Really good move there. Beautiful run by Antunes. And Lapaul was there to finish it. And we take the lead here for the first time against Paris FC. The fans celebrate as Lapaul gets yet another goal. Let's look at this again. Really good run there by Antunes. Ran it very close to the line there before playing it in. And Lapaul has quite a simple finish, to be fair. All it needed was a touch. And thankfully it got that touch. And, excuse me, we are 2-1 up. as I nearly bring back up my dinner. But this would give us quite a healthy lead, or extend our healthy lead, I should say, at the top of the table. But still, a good bit of football left to be played. It ain't over until it's over. Here's Piet into Saliba. And now Siddiqui. It's great to see the centre midfielders have such good chemistry. I apologise if I keep stuttering as well, lads. I feel better than I did in episode 1, but still not feeling the best. My throat is still kind of at me, so if I do sound like I'm struggling to speak at times, I do apologise. But here's Maurice Richard over to Saliba. Now St. Pierre. Antunes. Oh, I was in two minds about whether I keep it or pass it to Lepal, but thankfully we end up making the right decision. It's 3-1, it's Lepal again, and we have turned this game completely on its head. He is an absolute superstar in this team, loving life in Quebec, and he's put the ball in the back of the net for the second time in this game, the second time in a matter of moments. We are 3-1 up with half an hour to go. We've got a firm grip on this game now, but it's still not over. We saw it against Metz. We were 3-1 up, and all bloody hell broke loose. But hopefully this time round it'll be a little bit more straightforward, and Lepal is the man to give us that 2-goal advantage. Magnifique. I want to try and practice as much French on these episodes as possible. I've been doing French for nearly 2 years on Duolingo. Now I say for nearly 2 years. A lot of it has just been some of the quick tasks that you do on it. Oh, Dicko's onside. Oh, and he nearly put one back. Sami Zayn with a really good save. It goes up for a corner. But they're still in this game, Paris. Looks like they're going to take this corner short. They do. Oh, Richard just lets the player run past him. It's a good block. Saw the player go down there, and I thought for a second a penalty might have been given. But maybe he just slipped. Here's George St. Pierre. Over to Lepal. He's on a hat-trick. Oh, has to release it though. Gives it to Maurice Richard. Can he get a rocket today? He wears rocket on the back of his jersey. He scored one rocket already in this episode, but he gets dispossessed there. Paris look to go on the attack again. Here's Cabal. And Hamill, who already got one for them today. Oh, he's done Owens there. It's a really good save by Sami Zayn. Well, Kevin Owens, you can thank your frenemy there, because you very nearly let them in for another goal. They're making a change. They're taking off Hamill, their goal scorer. Interesting. Is there anybody that we can bring on to try and freshen things up a little bit? Nobody's looking overly tired. Marshall Ruddy has done quite well. Anytime I've brought him on in this episode, I'll give him a game here. Siddiqui's looking a little bit leggy, but we'll keep him on for now. I think we'll just make the one change, just to freshen things up slightly down that left-hand side. But Paris do get a corner here. What will they do with it? Thought they were going to take it short again there. They whip it in, but Sami Zayn will grab that with the greatest of ease. And now can we get an attack going? Here's Antunes. He had Marshall Ruddy in support, but he hasn't used him. He cuts inside. Lepal. Siddiqui hit that first time. Beauty. Absolute beauty from the midfielder who plays for the Congo, born in Belgium. But he's making history here at Montreal. He has had a fantastic start to life at the Saputo Stadium. And it's a really, really good strike there from the midfielder. Brilliant ball in as well by Lepal. Oh, that's a beautiful finish into the top corner. But him and Saliba in the midfield so far have got a really good thing going. Can they be the French equivalent of Roy Keane and Paul Scholes? They've got a long way to go yet, but so far so good. Brilliant strike, 4-1. That should be it as far as today is concerned. We'll make a couple of more changes just to freshen things up. We'll take him off after scoring that beauty. Antunes is a bit tired as well. We'll bring on Yankov, one of the few non-French speaking players that we have in the team. I forgot to show you as well, we have promoted somebody from the youth academy, Potier, as a backup striker. I'm not going to bring him on just yet, but it is worth mentioning that we do have another French speaking player on the bench, or at least a player from a French speaking country. But we'll make these changes with 12 minutes to go. But I'll tell you what, in the first half, there was nothing to suggest that we were going to be leading as comfortably as what we are. So it's good to show that Or good to see that we can show... Why can't I speak? It's good to see that we can come back from these positions. We've proven it a few times in this episode. I'm going to try not quick sim too many games, because I did see a few people say that since one of the most recent updates, as Richards does really well there to get past the player and win a throw-in, that simming games has become very, very difficult in terms of getting good results in them since that last update. So it's something... Oh no, they get the throw-in. That's annoying. But it's something to be aware of, something to be cautious of as well. But it's quite frustrating, because I don't mind quick simming every now and again. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. But for the odd game here and there, I think it's alright. But it's something we'll keep an eye on. I'll only do it if I really, really have to. Or if I feel like it's not going to affect us too much. Yankov over to Marshall Ruddy. Has he stayed on side? He has. Oh, I tell you what! What a strike that was! The woodwork keeps it out. But it was very nearly a beauty. God, we've got so many players who have such a good strike of the ball. But we're in the last minute of stoppage time here. Paris looking to create one more chance, pick up a consolation goal. They won't be able to get it. It goes out of play from the cross, and we get 3 massive points here in this crucial game. Paris, not the best start this season, but they definitely are a team that I wanted to make sure we got maximum points against, and we get a very comprehensive win against them here. Lapal on target yet again. Very, very happy to see that we have yet another incredible striker here on the channel. We've had so many great ones over the years, and Lapal looks like he's going to be the next great one. 4-1 to Montreal here. Au revoir, Paris. Not a great day out for ye, but a very good day out for us. Very good stuff. I am aware that right at the end there, I mispronounced Paris. I went to say it in French, gave up on it halfway through, and said it in English, and then there was this horrible combination of the two that just sounded wrong. I apologise to all the French speakers out there. But anyways, after 10 games, I'm very happy to see that we are 7 points clear at the top of the table. 8 wins, 1 defeat, 1 defeat and 1 loss, apparently. 1 draw and 1 loss. 29 goals scored, 13 conceded. Really solid start to the season. The main goal of Season 1 is, of course, to get promotion. I would love to do it automatically, and I would also love to do it by winning the division. And so far, we are in a very, very good position when it comes to those 2 objectives. A quick look at the individual stats as well before we wrap things up here. Esteban Lapal, 14 goals in 10 appearances and 5 assists as well. I mentioned it towards the end of that Paris game that we have had some incredible strikers over the last few series we've done over the last few years, and Esteban Lapal feels like he is on track to become that next legendary talisman on the channel. I have his potential in front of me here. He's only got a 74 potential. Listen, he's 24 years old, not old by any stretch of the imagination, but not exactly young as well in terms of wonder kids in FIFA or FC, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I really do feel like if he stays in the form that he's currently in and dynamic player potential kicks in, he could be an absolute legend of the channel. So long may this great form last. Siddiqui has 4 and 4 as well. Really, really good to see our midfield getting involved in the action as well. Maurice Richard and GSP both have 3 and 1. Not as good as I would have hoped at this point, but I have adjusted both of their tactics to get them a bit more involved, and I did notice it quite a lot in that Paris game, especially with GSP. So hopefully that form will continue into the next few games. Saliba, 2 and 6 from him. Antunes, 2 and 7. Rutty with 1 and 1. The stats from him mightn't look amazing, but he does feel really good when he's on the pitch. So he's a good solid backup option to have. So yeah, really, really happy with the start of the season so far, lads. And I really do feel like we can win this Ligue 2 title. Ligue 2 title, I should say. Did I just say Ligue 2? Oh my god, I'm really exposing myself here as a fake French speaker. But anyways, lads, that will do it for this second episode of the Montreal Career Mode. Again, I apologise if I sound a little bit out of it. I'm feeling a lot better than I did after the first episode, but I've just had this really annoying illness that just does not seem to be going away at all, but I didn't want to delay this series any longer, so hopefully over the next few episodes I'll start to sound like my normal self. If you did enjoy the episode though, lads, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel. There are so many new exciting series coming up over the next few weeks and months that are actually away from FC25. So I'm really, really excited for them. Keep an eye out on the community tab for those new series. And I will talk to you all this coming Friday for the third episode of the Montreal Career Mode. Au revoir. Take care.